Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So we're on day 8th, so I wanted to share with you my entire progression in my account after I chose to go against the grain. I haven't used any SSR light or dark units. I've stayed away from, I guess, the meta, right? And I've been trying to just simply enjoy the game. Since this was my one chance, I didn't know anything about the game until literally the weekend before the final beta. And I found out about the game literally through an ad on Instagram. So it was like a blessing in disguise. So I decided to just come in here since they're going to wipe out everything, just play, try to figure things on my own and stay away from, some other things that people usually tell you should do. Because honestly, what happens is you get burnt out chasing after the specific lineup, the specific set of gear, the specific pet, whatever it is, right? To the point that when you don't have one of those pieces, everything feels like it's falling apart. In this case, this has allowed me to have a lot more fun. I am not behind, honestly. If I'm level 42 because I haven't been optimizing, because I've been more like casually playing, right? In fact, most nights I have to just use the refill of the stamina and then play with it the next day. So I won't be doing that when the game comes out, since you do want to optimize and get to level 40 as fast as possible, especially now that we know that there's going to be events and very important things that you're going to want to farm and take advantage. But in terms of the main content, I've pretty much focused on making sure that I am always able to clear the content that my level allows, right? Nothing above, nothing below, right? And so far, as you can see, I'm being able to clear tournament, and right at Hell 3. I'm now going to start clearing Hell 4, almost there. My units are just not built well enough. My gear is literally trash. So they get one shot every single time. But as you can see, I've been able to make it. I can farm Hell 3 though with no problem. I am able to manually do Hell 3 DokiDoki. And if I do auto, it's like a 50-50 pretty much. I haven't really pushed on Aurora. But as you can see, like I mentioned, for none of this content, I've been using any dark or light SSR units, right? Mostly it's been SR units, which again are fantastic within this game. And then the free unit that we're giving, which is Lian. Then if you look at the Green Pursuit for the shells, same thing. Haven't used a single SSR Dark and Light, and like Nicodemo right now, Niconana, no Niconef, and Sharon, I'm able to right now under a minute auto run it 10 times, no problem with this setup. Of course, I will tell you that I'm glad that I paid attention and I saw that just like many like Epic 7, Eversoul, all the stuff is all about speed, but in this case, turn manipulation. And as long as you have those units that can do that, like Marvel, which is literally an excellent unit on any content, PvE or PvP, you definitely want it. And he pairs excellent with other debuffers because he's the only unit that I've found right now that has consistent resistance reduction, right? So that you can apply, whether this is like, let's say, for example, Tiamat, right? She only has a 50% chance, and that is after you upgrade her S3 in order to land the taunt. Pretty much becomes 100% when you use Marvel's, right? S3 not only takes away the turn meter, but also reduces their resistance, right? That's kind of like the matchups that you want to do. Same thing here. Another example is, for example, with Kazuya, or however her name is said correctly. Same thing with her. She's excellent. I haven't really seen a lot of people use her. She's the one that helped me clear Terramata and pretty much all the health stages so far, because she has cooldown reduction, but she also has turn control on her S1, which is she reduces the speed of the enemy. She does multiple attacks, and then with her S2, she has a cleanse. All right, so if you combine it with now Chiaki, essentially, it's unlimited turn control, essentially, right? Meter control, like it's unlimited. My team going over and over and over before the boss can do anything. If he can go, he cannot kill me. Now, when he does attack, he does kill me. But so far, so great. And that's literally what I've been doing in every single section. And the same thing applies for Arena. Same thing, exact thing. Now, I have taken the liberty and I've tried a lot. You will see that my account is all over the place. There is a lot of other very good units, like Rain, for example. It's an excellent fire type tank. She has taunt, she has defense up, mitigation, right? We already know Kraken, right? He is a great unit. Valerian, a lot of people are sleeping on her. She has the invulnerability, which is makes it that so that you one of the units that it's applied doesn't get killed. It's not a healer, but she helps you definitely survive, and especially at the beginning, since she applies her S3 right from the get-go, increase your defense, your attack, so that you can get from the get-go just kicking ass, right? Other units like Dinah, again, absolutely one of the best debuffers out there. She has literally 3 debuffs within one skill, which is insane. And she also does steel turn meter. So, like I mentioned, it's like a circle, essentially. Everybody is your turn control. Other units, again, that people are not touching that I'm using right now. So, for example, Chiaki. So the reason why I use her, and again, you don't even have to build them, which is the best part, and I hope they don't change this, is you can actually try the units and you can use them in the majority of the time without having to invest in them outside of swapping gear, which is all you have to do. But whenever you go in, which right now all my units are squishy, right? So you can call it that I cheese it. So this allows me to do a lot of damage mitigation. So anything that has a 5-character setup, right? As long as I can bring my main 4, right? Which is my main DPS right now, Leanne, right? My debuffer for defense down, like the defense break, essentially either Dinah or Gray, right? And then I can bring that turn manipulation or buffer at the same time, either Chiaki or Margot, sometimes both of them. If I go in and I'm missing some type of, let's say that I'm like very close to being able to kill them, but I don't want to have to necessarily bring a buffer, I do bring Valerian. And also if I want survivability, so in case like in DokiDoki, right, they can literally one-shot you. Because again, most of my units are right now not built up. I do have Lily, which is funny enough. I've gotten 2 dupes of her and I have not used her at all whatsoever. Because again, I want to learn how to use it. Because again, probably when I summon on my account later on officially, I'm not gonna have this luck, and I don't plan to reroll either when the game officially comes out. Again, rerolling can take hours, and that takes a lot of the fun away from these type of games. Other units that are like Viper, same thing. Whenever I go in and I need to reduce the attack of the entire lineup so that I can not die, so that I can then debuff them, buff my units, and then take them out. That's usually the round. The only units that I haven't really played around are with like damage over time units. Reverie, excellent for DokiDoki. I haven't really used the damage over time units because I don't find that they're able to kill as fast as you would like to. And nothing is a prolonged fight, or long enough that requires it, right? It's the opposite. You want to kill everything under a minute here. Victor, it's another great unit. Now the only thing with him and what happened is because maybe it's my setup that I've tried to use, but when you bulk him up, he deals a lot of damage. But because he doesn't have the taunt, he's more of a damage dealer than he is really a tank. Even though that you might think that everything about him, right, it says HP passive, but he's a damage dealer with HP as his scale up, as the stat to scale up essentially. And then if you take a look at my gear, I'll show you right now, like I said, nothing special, right? A bunch of HP for Tiamat. A mixture, as you can see, I have one random piece right here. Don't do what I did, right? So all you gotta upgrade, and only the really good pieces is the right. You don't have to touch the left. Like I've made a lot of mistakes and I've made it this far. So once we optimize, you will definitely be able to do way better than I do. Again, without having to chase the meta, by simply knowing what units to combine with and, learning how to play essentially, right? So I will be doing an entire recording over the next 4 days as well of a new account that I'm starting. To show essentially how I will play when the game starts, hopefully as long as they don't change, because I expect them not to nerf anything. If they do, I will definitely not even bother, right? That is the last thing that you want them is to nerf units that you've tried and true, right? So that when you go and summon, then you get caught off guard, and that's how the waste of money happens, and then that's how they lose trust, right, from the players. Alrighty, so in that arena, not just because again, a lot of people are going to be interested in this. Again, I literally just started playing arena over the past today. Haven't been doing fantastic, right? I have 50% win rate, but if you notice, it's because this is on auto in reality, right? And there's a lot of ways that you can cheese this, especially when you get to these this point. But when you look at real-time arena, right, when I'm actually using the units and I know how to play with them, that's a different story, right? Even though I'm only at gold, it's just because, again, this takes time. I think sometimes I go on a WoW for like 45 minutes and I only do 5 battles. So even though they don't feel that long, but they actually take that long. Here, a very different story. I have a 74% win rate, right? And if you take a look at the record, like I mentioned, most of them are back-to-back, because I know in this case, I am able to control. Usually when I lose is because, again, I'm going against, at that time, I was going against, right, players that were much higher on a level than I was, right? So they had access to probably different gear, a little more speed and things like that. But if you can see, again, didn't use in none of the battles that I've won, and the entire time, no dark or light units, even going against dark or light SSR units. Alrighty, so I'm having a lot of fun, and I will continue to do this. If you want to see more content, right, about Etheria Restart and other games that I will start posting soon, or if you have recommendations, feel free to subscribe, give it a like, and comment down below for engagement. I appreciate you all. Stay blessed, and I'll see you all on the next one.